What is up, Free Code Camp? Uh, this is going to be a tutorial about making the Pomodoro clock. Now, the Pomodoro clock is one of the front-end libraries projects. It's the last project right here. It's got a ton of different user stories. This is almost 28 user stories. And they do give you a CodePen example here. Here's the CodePen example. It's basically a clock that helps you divide your work and make sure you take enough breaks. So you have a session where you do all the work for a certain amount of time, 25 minutes, and then you go over to, once that, you hit play and it starts counting down that time. And once you get down to 0, you enter your break session. So you stop whatever you're doing, relax, so forth and so on, and then you can do another work session. And you can control this by pause, and you can reset it, and you can set your own session and break, whatever you want it to be. So we're going to build something that looks like this right here. In the first part of the series, I may do a couple follow-up videos after this initial video where I add more style and some nifty, cool little tricks that you can, some visualizations to go along with the Pomodoro clock. But I'm not going to get into that too much right now. That's for bonus videos and later on. This is just about the code and getting something with the functionality that we want. So we want the same functionality that other app has. We want, our countdown. We want to be able to play and pause, reset, adjust everything. So that's what we've got here. And there's a ton of user stories. They want certain IDs on certain elements. We're going to do all that, and certain functionality. We're going to get it to satisfy all the user stories. So first things first, I'm going to build it in CodePen. I've already got it built here, but I'm going to go to a whole new CodePen. What we're going to do is build it from scratch so you could code along with me. I'm going to create a new pen from a template. You know what? I'm just going to create a new pen. We'll go through all the steps here because I don't know if someone may be a beginner or whatever. So I'm going to name it Pomodoro 2. And the first thing we got to do is decide what we're going to use to bring, what we're going to use as far as, are we going to make it with vanilla JavaScript and HTML, which we could do. That's a totally legitimate way to do it. Are we going to use jQuery? Are we going to use something like React or Vue or Angular? For this project, for me, I'm going to use React. I built it a long time ago when I first did it. I built it with jQuery, and that was fine. jQuery works great, but I really like React. I really like doing these different challenges in React. I really just think React is perfect for stuff like this. So we're going to set ourselves up for React on CodePen here. I like to just maximize my whole window and deal with one thing at a time. So to get React going, we can quick add React and quick add React DOM. And we also want to throw on the Babel preprocessor for that. And then we're pretty much good to go. But although if we're using React, we need a root element to render our React into. So that's all we need over in HTML. That's all the HTML. We're done writing HTML. And get our basic setup here of class app extends React.component. And let's have a render method. And let's return something. And that something is called JSX. Little free code camp. And then we do our React DOM.render. Our app in there with a closing tag. And we refer to that original div we did. By document.getElement by ID. And then we get our hello FCC. So we got our skeleton. Our React skeleton is good to go. And the cool part about React is it lets you break everything up into different components how you want to do it. And my finished product was only, I think, 120 lines of code total, and we've already written 9 of them. So it's not going to be that crazy. So we can just get started with some real basic stuff right here just to show some of how React works. If you don't already know, we can build we'll build our header. And you set it equal to a function and have it return JSX. Like so. So we've got a header. So we will just render our header just like that. And then we get our Pomodoro clock. Now I do think, let's see here, I have in the assets here, copy the link from the assets, and then what we can do is in stuff for head in our HTML, paste in that link. I'm not sure, but this might do it. There we go. Put Roboto on everything. So now we're going to use Roboto, and you can do that with any font. That's just a real quick little trick. I'll show it. You just put an asterisk, and that puts the font family on every single element that you have. So I like Roboto. I don't like Times New Roman. So first thing we want to do is get this. Think about how we're going to break down the components. We already did the header component. Then we're going to do this component, and basically this component here. And this could be 2 different components. This could be 1 component, and this could be a 3rd component, or it could all be 1. It doesn't really matter. I made them 2 just because this has a lot of functionality. This has a lot of functionality, but you can do it either way. So I think we'll start working on this component first. But if you look at them, the cool part about these 2 components is that they're very much similar. They just take different parameters. So we can use React to make ourselves write less code. So when we come back in the next video, I'll show you how you can write less code by using components in React on this Pomodoro clock. And I'll see you in the next one.